What is up? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Mariners post-game recap. Back to my normal comfortable desk and chair here today. If you can, if you're enjoying these videos or watching them, please hit the like button. It helps me out a ton. If you're a subscriber and you just want to help the channel out, hit the like button. And if you're not subbed, please hit the sub button. All those really help me out a ton. Mariners lose 5-3. They get swept by the Brewers. Boy, am I going to be happy to see Milwaukee leave town. They were pesky to the Mariners this series. Mariners dropped to 8-11 on the year. Kind of undo all the good vibes from that Rocky series where it felt like they were getting it together. All that just out the window now. I mean, not out the window. It still matters. But kind of undone, essentially, as they were back to 3 games below 500 and dropped to 8-11 here. Listen, another game that just looking at it in a vacuum on its own, it happens. There was nothing in this game. I thought the Mariners were really unlucky in that 7th inning. There was what you call the BABIP to death. Every ball put in play seemed to find a hole for the Brewers. And then the 9th inning, the Mariners made a rally, couldn't quite get it. 2 games in a row here, Mariners could have easily won the last 2 games. They could have, and they didn't, and I'm not excusing anything. We're going to dive into all of it, but this could very easily be 10-9 right now, and we'd be singing the praises, saying this team's back over 500. I said in my post game last night, they're not getting a lot of the breaks that they got last year. Those one-run wins and those extra inning wins, it can come down to a lot of luck things, and the Mariners have been fortunate. Now, they've been very good too, but they've been fortunate as well, and so far this year, that fortune has not been bestowed upon them to start this season. They've been on the opposite end of it. So let's dive into it. Let's start with the pitching staff. Marco was fantastic. 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 1 walk, 9 Ks. Even the 2 runs he gave up were kind of on, I think it was Contreras hit one up the middle that if that's 2 feet to the left, it would have been a double play type grounder. And then Jesse Winker dinked one into left field. And, Marco was outstanding. He was getting, as his location was pinpoint today, that changeup was excellent, and he was getting that low strike call, which is obviously a huge benefit to him to get that low zone call and not have to work up higher in the zone. I've said it before, it's Jamie Moyer. Now, some of you guys might be a lot younger than me, maybe you don't remember Jamie, but for people my age, you remember the crafty veteran. And it's about hitting those spots. And you can hit the spots, these guys can be outstanding. Those changeups are excellent. But if you got an ump that's maybe squeezing them a little bit, or they're just off enough, they don't have the stuff to overcome it. This isn't, for Jamie Moyer, a comparison would be like Felix Hernandez. For Marco Gonzalez would be like Luis Castillo. They're not these guys. They don't have the overpowering stuff that if they're not getting calls, they can just rear back and fire a fastball past you. They don't have that. Marco was outstanding today, and this is what you're going to get. Now, I don't think it's going to be this all the time with 9 strikeouts, 1 walk. There's going to be times where Marco's a little off on the command. He's going to have some tough starts. He is a 5th starter, and he is a perfectly fine and acceptable one. The Mariners' rotation was set up so well this year with Castillo, Ray, Gilbert, and Kirby. I think some of the backlash on Marco was like, I'm sorry the Mariners don't have a 5th starter that's a Cy Young contender. You know what I mean? Marco is perfectly fine. He deserved a better fate today than a no decision. He deserved his offense to go out and get him a couple more runs and get him a W today. Matt Brash came in when there was runners at 1st and 2nd, nobody out in the 7th inning, gave up a hit, 2 hits, got a pop out, got a strikeout, and then gave another hit to Terang, and then Rowdy Tellez got him for a pinch hit single as well, which put the Brewers up 5-2, 5 runs, 6 singles for the Brewers in the 7th inning. Listen, if you look at Matt Brash's secondary pitching numbers, his FIP is like 2.5, his xFIP is like 1.6 or something. Maybe those are reversed, I'm not positive. His BABIP against is like 550. And again, I brought up BABIP twice, batting average against balls in play. 550 is really bad luck. It means every ball put in play is getting hit. The batting average against every ball put in play against him is 550. Now, you could be getting spanked around the ballpark and giving up home runs and extra base hits and line drives all over the place, and your BABIP could be very high. Probably still wouldn't be that high. For reference, like I could go out there and my BABIP probably wouldn't be 550, just for a reference, and I'm terrible at baseball. And Brash's xFIP and FIP are super low, so it's not like he's getting stung. It's not like he's got a FIP of 5 and xFIP of 6, and he's given up line drives all over the place. He's been dinked and dunked a little bit. Now, I'm a big fan of the sabermetric stats, the fan graphs and all that stuff, but I'm also old school, and I'll look at results sometimes, and I'll analyze based on both. And while Matt Brash was certainly unlucky today, he also didn't have great command again of that slider. It was a little bit off. And if you look, one strikeout, they need him to come out and probably get a couple. And that secondary stuff just wasn't locating. So he had to rely on the fastball, which was great. And he got Yelich on it. And I think he got Miller to pop out on it. But Terang was able to sit on a fastball. Didn't hit it very hard, but was able to get it into left field for a base hit. Went down and got it. And when you're not locating that, especially when you're kind of a two-pitch pitcher and you're not locating your main pitch, now his fastball is great, but if you can just sit on it, you're going to be able to get the bat to the ball and put the ball in play. And the Brewers put the ball in play and were able to succeed and get some guys home and get runs in. So it goes both ways. Was Matt Brash unlucky? Yeah. Is he going to run a 6.23 ERA this season? Absolutely not. He is better than that. When in May, when he's running a .80 ERA for the month and everyone goes, oh my gosh, what happened? Matt Brash has turned it around. I'll sit here and tell you, yeah, he was always going to turn this around. Like, the numbers and the stuff is too good not to be a good reliever. But that doesn't mean that he was just perfectly acceptable today and it was just all bad luck either. It was a lack of command with certain pitches that led to this. Now, normally, even in a situation like this, that fastball is probably good enough to get out of the situation. But, the Brewers are a really good baseball team, and they were able to get bat and ball and make Brash pay for it. So Matt Brash is going to be fine. There's always a middle ground with all this. He's going to be fine. I'm not worried about him. And getting Munoz back will be a big boost as well. It'll take a little bit of the pressure off of Brash. So he's going to be just fine. But it also wasn't a great outing for him. Results-wise, probably should have been better, but he could have had better command as well. Gott and Saucedo, who came up when McCacken was sent down, they were both fine in their innings as well. Julio had a nice game, base hit, and then the 2-run home run. Love the new trident that the team has for the home runs. That's going to be a really cool thing that we'll see this season. So excited to see more of that. Would have loved to see it again at some point, but they couldn't do that. So Julio had a real nice game. Listen, Lauer, it's Eric Lauer, right? Every time I try to pull up a play, yeah, Eric Lauer was solid. He was really good. And he's a pitcher, again, that he was better than the 5.19 ERA he entered this game with today. But he's also a pitcher I think the Mariners could have put up a couple more runs or at least put a little bit more pressure on to get him out after 5 or 6 innings instead of the 7 2/3 he went. Now, to his credit, he was good. And sometimes you're going to get beat by good pitchers and they're going to be on their game. There's nothing you can do. But some of the Mariners need to put a little bit more pressure on to get out of the game. And Julio was fine. But again, that bottom of the order is just, it's not coming through. It's not good right now. Credit to Jose Caballero, got his first hit today. That's awesome. I'll go down the lineup real quick. Ty was 1 for 4. Gino was 0 for 2 with a walk and a hit by pitch. So he did reach base a couple times. Teoscar was 1 for 4. He had a hit in that 9th inning rally. A.J. Pollock 0 for 3. There's a perfect example. A.J. Pollock was brought in here to hit lefties. And I'm going to get into it a little bit here with the bottom of the order, guys. And he hasn't done it. Kelenic was 1 for 4 with an RBI. Tough series for him, only 1 hit. He did have an RBI single in the 9th inning. But he had some walks. Thought he had some good plate appearances. Right now, Jared Kelenic should be the least of anybody's worries. Tom Murphy was 1 for 3. Did have a hit. That's cool. But Murphy's another one. Him and A.J. Pollock should be hitting lefties, and they're not doing it right now. La Stella pinched hit, popped out. We'll get to that. Again, congrats to Jose Caballero. He's 1 for 4, scored a run on the Julio home run, and had his first hit, a ringing double. I think he has more extra base hits than Colton Wong this year. But a serious congrats to him. JP was over 3. Again, JP has had a pretty good year. And against the lefty, this is maybe a game where you'd have Dylan Moore playing for him and Haggerty in for Colton Wong. So I'm not getting into JP too much. He's had a pretty nice season so far. So the 9th inning, let's first talk about the 9th inning. That'll kind of get to everybody at the bottom of the order. Ty France hits a double to start off. It was more of a bloop single. The right fielder for the Brewers at the time was Miller, dove for the ball. I mean, I get it. You're up 3, so runner at second versus first doesn't change a whole lot. I mean, it does take away a double play by diving for it. But getting the outs may be more important. So anyways, Ty France gets a double. Gino's hit by a pitch. Teoscar loops in a single. So the Mariners getting some of that Babbitt magic back in the ninth inning. Load him up with nobody out. Cal Raleigh pinch hit. It's for A.J. Pollock. Totally fair. That's what you should do there. Cal Raleigh strikes out. Jared Kelenic comes up, lines a base hit into center field. Awesome. Tommy LaStella pinch hits for Tom Murphy. Listen, yeah, he should. And people can sit here. Listen, I'm all for it. Tommy LaStella's been awful. But right now, with the roster the way it is, yeah, Tommy LaStella probably should pinch hit for Tom Murphy. Murphy's been bad. That is a double play waiting to happen against a righty. Who's left on the bench? You could have, maybe I'd send Colton Wong up there, a little bit, maybe a better track record, overall. Maybe he runs into one against his old mates, something there. But I can't blame Scott for not having Colton Wong bad either. Colton Wong's been terrible. So you're left with, truthfully, out of all these guys, LaStella has the best numbers this year, as pathetic as that is. But he's still bad, and he pops out, does nothing. Caballero bats. Again, you could pinch hit Wong there, I'd say okay, but whatever. Caballero bats and pops it up. And again, just that bottom of the order that has not been good, rearing its ugly head. And it's a game that, maybe fully healthy, maybe Taylor Trammell bats there against the righty and does something. Maybe it's Dylan Moore instead of Caballero batting, and Dylan Moore is able to come through and get a big hit there. So they need Dylan Moore back. They need Taylor Trammell back. But they also are going to need somebody here to step up. One of these guys has to do something. And yeah, I get it. How dare Jerry make this roster like this? That's the complaints from everybody. It wasn't meant to be Tommy LaStella all the way and Jose Caballero and Cooper Hummel and all this. It was meant to be Trammell and Dylan Moore with some other guys. And at some point, the players have to play, guys. I get it. Jerry could have gotten out and gotten a better DH bat. I get it. I gave the Mariners praise this offseason. I do wish they would have gotten one more bat. I'm on record for it. But a lot of the bats people have talked about, have been just as bad as some of these guys. At some point, players have to play and execute the game. At some point, A.J. Pollock has to be better than what he's doing this year. A.J. Pollock is OPSing 527. He is a better hitter than that. Tom Murphy is OPSing, I don't even want to, and I know OPS isn't the end-all be-all, I'm just going quickly here. Tom Murphy's OPSing 217. Colton Wong's OPSing 300. Tommy LaStella is OPSing 4-something, probably 528, which, my God, it's better than the other guys. Cooper Hummel's probably somewhere there, too. Even if these guys were just slightly below their career averages, they would be doing a lot better and productive, and maybe this team would have a win or two. I get it. This isn't the best bottom of the order in baseball, but it's not like these guys aren't all also performing below their career averages. I'm not talking about, their career best. I'm just talking about their career averages. Now, LaStella, coming off a really bad season, took a flyer on him as a bench bat. It's just not really working out. You can move on from that, whatever. But Tom Murphy should be better. This was another game here that was tailor-made for Tom Murphy. This is why they wanted his bat in there. This is a game he should have been a big part of. He's in there to hit lefties. That was part of the plan. Was Cal can kind of rotate in DH, Tom can catch in DH, especially when there's lefties on the mound. He has been bad. I love Tom Murphy. He's one of my favorite guys. Seems like a really cool dude. But he is not producing. A.J. Pollock against a lefty should be an okay DH option, especially against a left-handed pitcher. Was awful today. Tommy LaStella in a pinch hit role, that's kind of what he should be doing if he's going to be on your Major League roster. There's really shouldn't be anything wrong with that. I know people are laughing on Twitter about having Tommy LaStella pinch hit, but he should be there. That's where you would use him, even if he's the 26th man on your roster. So, just as my dog barks there, let me go check on that and see what is going on. I'm going to let you guys go. Hopefully everything's okay out there. I think it is. That scared me a little bit. Sorry about that. But yeah, brought me back down. The bottom of the lineup has to produce better. You can blame Jerry. That's fine. You can blame Scott. I don't think Scott deserves any blame. I don't know what he could have done differently. I'm sure people have some things, and that's fine. To each their own. And to each their own. A lot of people, even with Jerry, a lot of people called it out. They need to add more in the offseason. That's fair. So I'm not saying you're dumb or wrong for that, but I'm just saying eventually these guys have to play and have to hit. These guys have to be better. You can put it on Jerry, that's fine, I don't necessarily agree, but I won't stop you. But these guys have to hit better and have to be better. And that bottom of the order, it's Tom Murphy, it's AJ Pollock, it's whoever else is down there. Have got Colton Wong, another one. Colton Wong has got to be better. If these guys were just at their career averages, this team would be okay. And they're still okay. It's May. Again, it's not May. It's April 20th. They're 8-11. You get to 500 in May, even 500 going into June, getting the dog days, they'll be okay. I'm not hitting a panic button, guys. I'm not. But these bottom of the order guys have got to do better. If we get to May 1st and they're still struggling, it may be time to make changes. It may be time to look at a Brian O'Keefe as your number 2 catcher. It may be time to look at, is Dylan Moore your best bet to play every day at second base? That's not the best for the way the roster is constructed, but you do have to start looking at those things. So we'll see. Day off tomorrow. I will have a preview video up for the Cardinals series. I promise. I know I haven't done previews the last 2 times. Super busy with work, with the family, just being under the weather. So I've not gotten preview videos up for the last 2 series. I will have one up tomorrow. I promise. If I don't, then sorry, but I should. I will have a pregame video up, and then we'll have the post game up for each game this weekend. I will see you guys later. Take care. Hit the like button. Hit the sub button. Go Mariners, and you guys have a great rest of your week. I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.